Hi there, Rod from Fleet News Group again. And where on earth would you rather be on a beautiful day like this but on the beach? And look what I've brung with me today. The 2024 Ford Everest Wildtrak. Let's have some fun. And remember, if you like these videos, please hit that like button down there, as well as the subscribe button and the notification bell. That way you can be kept up to date with everything we're doing here at the Fleet News Group. Go on, give that like button a bit of a tickle. You know you want. Well, looking at the styling of the Everest Wildtrak here, you've got the distinctive C and D daytime running lamps, which is on all the Wildtrak models and the other upper level models of the Ranger and Everest. Looks quite good, very distinctive. No mistaking one of these cars coming towards you on the highway. But what's really cool, I like this, is the Everest badge on the bonnet has been replaced with Wildtrak. Looks really cool, that I like it. As I did the darkened grille with the matching dark grey twin bars across between the headlights with the Ford badge in the middle. The blacked out grille itself looks very nice. The colour is new. This is called Luxe Yellow. It's a $700 option to have this on the car. Kind of looks like gold to me, but hey, I'm not marketing, so Luxe Yellow it is. It also comes with all-terrain tyres on 18-inch rims, or you can have highway tyres on 20-inch rims. It's a no-cost option on the Wildtrak here. You get to choose which one you want. I've got the all-terrains here because I'm actually taking it off-road and using it off-road, which is more versatile with the all-terrain tyre to do that. Everest remains still a very well-proportioned and good-looking car. I like the running board underneath. It's actually not only looks good, but it's also very practical. The privacy glass windows, and around the back here, have a look here, we've got what looks like LED tail lights. They look pretty cool if you ask me. It's quite a nice, attractive vehicle, and one I think you'd be very proud to own and be seen in. Well, what's under the bonnet of the Everest Wildtrak? It's back. The little stick holding the bonnet up here. It's doing all right in the wind, but gas struts. Well, that's all I'll say. The engine, it only comes with a 3-litre V6, rated at 184 kilowatts in power and 600 Newton meters in torque. Bi-turbo is not available on the Wildtrak. Beautiful, smooth motor. I spoke about it when I did the Ranger review. It's like a tsunami of power propelling you down the road. Beautifully smooth, great response. It just gets up and does the business for you big time, as it does here in the Everest Wildtrak for you. Fuel economy. Ford lists the combined cycle economy listing for this vehicle at 8.5 litres per 100 k's. Not too bad for such a big, heavy four-wheel drive. Pretty good. It goes okay, but that's the fuel economy there. But I think it's a great motor, coupled with that 10-speed automatic transmission. The variable four-wheel drive, you've got two-wheel drive, you've got 4 auto, 4 high and 4 low. Conquer any terrain you're going to go in, and this motor will power you. The driver's seat of the Everest Wildtrak, and it is a very pleasant place to be. Leather everything inside, leather steering wheel, leather console lid, leather seats. It's got the distinctive orange stitching unique to the Wildtrak. It's even stitched into the seat here, Wildtrak. Very, very nice. Nice comfortable seating position, good clear commanding view out the front. It's all very good. Bit of storage in here. We've got the big console bin in here. We've then got a smaller one hiding up in here, and then the standard glove box there as well. Cup holders, two big cup holders here, and there's bottle holders in the doors as well. Dominating the dash by far is the huge infotainment screen. Portrait style, huge big colour display. Very, very nice. And with the cameras that come in this car, 360-degree camera, front and rear cameras, you can change the views around as we're pushing a little button and it's gone to a 360-degree camera now and looking out the front. When you put it in reverse, obviously it shows you out the back. It's got the full suite of safety features, this car. Blind spot monitoring, lane keep assist, lane departure warning, autonomous emergency braking, rear cross traffic alert, adaptive cruise control, the whole box and dice. It's got everything. Very, very good. I quite like how it all works. It drives very well. And the other switches it's got here is a special button, A in a circle. This motor is an auto start stop motor. And if you don't like that, that's the one you push to turn it off. Two-wheel drive, four-wheel auto, four-wheel high, four-wheel low, all on the controller here, and the different drive modes you can select it as well. Normal, eco, towing, sand, mud, ruts, snow. Is a terrain just by twisting the little knob here, and it comes up on the instrument cluster, fully digital as well, tells you all about it. I think it is a very comfortable place to be and to drive, and you could do hundreds of k's here quite comfortably and not bat an eyelid at it. It's very good. Well, here I am in the second seat of the Everest Wildtrak. The leather continues. We've got the orange stitching here going on because it's a Wildtrak, but it's very nice. Fantastic view of the sunroof in the second row seat. I really feel the front seat passenger and the driver don't get the benefits as much as those in the rear do, because you can see it all the time. Very nice in here. We've got the leather center armrest, which has the cup holders in it, folds up out of the way when not required. We've also got down here a fan speed control and a USB-C and a USB-A port. Air vents in the ceiling, you can adjust around there. Plus a little light, if you want to read at night, is there as well. All in all, it's quite comfortable here in the second row of the Everest Wildtrak. Well, here I am now in the third row seat. It's not too bad back here. It's a little tight and squeezy. I'm sitting very upright. My head's just touching the roof here at the moment. My knees are touching the second row seat, which is the same position as it was as you just saw me sitting in it before. Toes are sort of touching the underside of the seat. So for a short trip I'd be fine. Longer trip, not so much. Kids in the back fine. A la soccer mum, picking up a few extra kids at training, no problem at all. There's a few air vents back here as well, plus some cup holders and that to put a drink bottle, etc. But for a long distance trip, kids fine, adult not so much. Of course you don't like them, then go. Well, what's in the back of the Everest Wildtrak? Let's have a look. Power tailgate, of course. And in here now, with the third row seats up, there's 259 litres of space. There's a little outlet here, 12 volt, maybe plug in the car fridge, something like that. Some little hooks, light, all very good. But if you need a bit more luggage space and you don't have the passengers, we just put the seats down, just like that. 5-seater now, and 898 litres of luggage space. When the second row seat is folded down, there's 1,823 litres of space, just in case you've been off to, you know those places, Bunnings, IKEA, bought too much, there'll be plenty of room to take those purchases home. Under here, There's little space, little shelves and things, and the tools for the jack and all that are there as well. And the spare tyre, where's it hiding? Well, it's up under there, underneath, out of the way. And if you have to get and use it when it's fully loaded, you don't have to unload everything. The power out of the V6 is fantastic. It just gets up and surges. 10-speed auto, just smooth as a baby's butt. It just picks the right gear and away you go. Very, very good, quite like it. Just coming up to the lights here, and we stop. We pull up here. And as we stop, the motor goes out. That's the stop-start system. Basically helps with the fuel economy, and if you don't need to move, the motor doesn't need to turn. Does that very well. It's a very good restart. If you don't like it, you can just push that button there and it just restarts the motor and turns the system off, but it automatically engages every time you start the car. The interior is very nice, very well laid out. Huge dominating infotainment screen there, portrait style, just fantastic. I love this thing. It just gives you all the information at a glance. It's there. Full digital instruments as well. Away we go here. Leather everything inside. Heated seats in the front. It just ticks a lot of boxes. It's a good car to drive. And for a novated lease, if you're looking for an adventure vehicle that you can live with every day, this one really ticks some boxes for you. Let's talk safety features. Autonomous emergency braking, blind spot monitoring, lane keep assist, lane departure warning, adaptive cruise control, rear cross traffic alert. It's even got the auto park facility where it parks itself, parallel parking. It's got all these drive aid features, which just makes your drive that much more comfortable and safer, knowing the car's looking after you as much as it can all the time. I think they're very great ideas, and it just makes the driving experience that much more pleasant. Well, we're out in the open road now. What's it go like? Put your foot down and she hammers away. There's 100 at the speed limit, just like that. A lot of power. This thing, when you put your foot down, it's like a tsunami. It just overtakes, it just surges. And overtaking is an absolute breeze. It's got enough power to cruise around comfortably with your boat or trailer on the back. It'll cruise comfortably, overtaking. It's all just there for you. It is a very, very good engine and transmission combination that just makes driving the Everest absolutely easy peasy. Returns good fuel economy. We showed you the stop-start system there before. It actually does help in no small measure in helping with the fuel economy, but it's the kind of vehicle, you buy this vehicle because you have a few extra passengers, you want to tow something, you want to go on the big trip. But that doesn't mean you can't live with it every day. And around town it's just as easy to drive, just as comfortable doing it. The camera systems to help you park, it even self-parks itself. It is just a very good all-round package for a large SUV four-wheel drive. Room for 7, comfort for all. I think that's a good thing to think about, what the Everest is like, and especially in this new variant, the Wildtrak. First time the Everest has been built in a Wildtrak variant. It gives a few extra creature comforts with the heated seating and the distinctive leather seats, and the badging just makes it look that little bit better outside, and certainly in this colour, it's a hero colour. Stands out in the crowd. There's no losing this one in the car park. But it is just a car that I think it does all things for all people. So if you're looking for one of these 4x4 SUV vehicles for your next novated lease, I think the Everest Wildtrak is one, and any Everest for that matter, is one you can live with comfortably every day. It'll do everything for you. Whether you're doing a school run, picking up extra kids at soccer practice using the third row seats for that, packing it up for the big lap away around Australia, doing the big tour with a caravan or a boat around the whole country, four-wheel driving, doing the big tracks, crossing the Simpson, going to Fraser Island. It'll do everything. Just a country run to regional areas. This vehicle will do everything that you want it to do. But it's the kind of thing that I think you'd be very happy in this vehicle, and it's just going to suit you so well. Could I live with it every day? Absolutely. And really enjoying my time driving it. Talk to you about some important numbers here to do with both four-wheel driving and towing. Well advertised, this vehicle, the Everest, and its sibling, the Ranger, have a 3,500 kilo brake towing capacity. That means whatever you're towing, if it has a braking system on it, it can weigh up to 3.5 tonnes, and this vehicle will tow it safely. Having said that though, there's some other very key important numbers that you need to pay attention to make sure you stay legally compliant with the road rules and you're safe. Forgive me for using the notes, but I've just got to go through some of the numbers here. The first one up is the gross vehicle mass, or GVM. The Everest Wildtrak here has a GVM of 3,150 kilos. To that you can add the brake towing capacity, and that'll give you the maximum, or the gross combination mass. That is the most the Everest and whatever it is you are towing behind it, boat, trailer, caravan, whatever, cannot weigh more than 6,250 kilos, or 6.25 tonne. The curb weight, what the Everest weighs without you or fuel or your family or anything else in it. For the Everest Wildtrak here, that lists at 2,488 kilos, 2.48 tonne. To get how much you can carry in the Everest, the payload, what we do is we subtract away the curb weight from the gross vehicle mass, and that leaves us a payload of 662 kilos. That's you, your friends, your family, all your passengers, the fuel in the car, all the stuff you've got to bring along with you to do these kind of trips. Got my tread boards there, very handy for the sand. Don't go on the beach without them. I've got a nice little receiver hitch here, got a snatch strap if I need it. Again, that all counts in the weight for the payload that you can have in the vehicle. But what happens if you're towing as well? Well, 10% of the weight of whatever it is towing is classed as ball weight. So 3,500 kilos, the ball weight would be 350 kilos. And that comes out of your payload. It doesn't get added to it, it gets taken away. So 662 kilo payload minus 350 kilos for ball weight for the 3.5 tonne boat behind us we're towing means it's only 312 kilos of available payload left. Again, you, the family, the kids, all the stuff, the fuel in the tank, everything, 312 kilos. It's not a lot, it's something you need to consider. Of course, if you're towing a 2-tonne trailer, a 2-tonne caravan, the ball weight would only be about equivalent to 200 kilos. So that would take you back up to 462 kilos payload. So there's a bit of juggling and moving around there to do to find out what you can do legally and safely, because you've got to stay within those limits. Otherwise, in the event of the unthinkable, it can get very nasty very quickly. There's some very key and important numbers you need to understand when going off-road in four-wheel drives, especially if the terrain is getting very rough and rugged and a bit craggy, steep climbs, steep descents, all this sort of stuff, going through creeks and everything like that. The first thing you need to understand is the approach, ramp over and departure angles. The approach angle, it's at the front of the car. As you're approaching the obstacle, you're about to climb up this steep bit, it's the angle of the car coming in underneath the bumper to where the front tyres touch. On the Everest here, that angle is 30.2 degrees. The next one is the ramp over angle. Once you start climbing the particular obstacle and you go over the top to go down the other side, the angle between the axles underneath the car, in other words, as it clears over, what's the angle before it hits underneath the car? That angle is 21.9 degrees on the Everest. And at the back, the departure angle, as you leave from the obstacle and come down and descend and then head off again, at the back here, from the back wheels up before the bumper hits the ground, that's 25 degrees. Might be a bit less at the moment with having the tow receiver hitch sticking out the back, or a tow bar can decrease that and it goes bang on the ground. So just something to be aware of. Also, if you're going to do creek crossings, river crossings, things like that, in this car, the wading depth, 800 millimeters. That's the maximum wading depth that you can have in these vehicles. Anything deeper than that, then you may be running into a whole world of pain. Which, considering the depth of the water out there, I don't think we'll be trying that today. Well, as they say, tell them the price, son. What's it going to cost you? If you're looking at this type of vehicle, or this particular vehicle, for your next novated lease, the cost is a bit over $75,500 plus on road costs. A lot of coin. It's a lot of car though as well. It's a very nice car, goes very well, so maybe well within your consideration for your next novated lease if you're looking for four-wheel drive SUV to go great places like this. Well, as you can tell, I've really enjoyed driving this car. It's a whole lot of fun. And such a beautiful area as this, why wouldn't you be having fun? Beautiful summer's day, out on the beach, in a brand new Ford Everest Wildtrak. That's a recipe for fun in my book. Remember, if you like these videos, please hit that like button down there, as well as the subscribe button and the notification bell. That way you can be kept up to date with everything we're doing here at the Fleet News Group. I'm Rod, thank you very much for watching, and I'll just conclude by saying, and how couldn't you out here? Enjoy your day. Bye.